I crossed the ridge where the map dissolved into a cartography of mist and musk. The air is thick, a veil of velvet dust, where the sun is a pale, unblinking eye, caught in the rafters of a charcoal sky. The path is soft, a carpet of the fallen, wet with the dew of 1,000 years of stalling. I breathe it in and the back of my throat turns sweet, like overripe fruit or the heat of a summer street. It's the scent of pink decay, a sugary rot, the memory of a season that the world forgot. Perfume like a fever, heavy and deep, waking the ghosts that were meant to sleep. Oh, the sweetness is a bruise, a beautiful stain, the scent of the blossom, the fragrance of pain. I'm looking for a face in the haze of the grove, a name I once held, a treasure I wove. But the air is a wall of rose-colored smoke. Every inhale is a promise, every exhale a joke. The branches are bowing heavy with the pride of 1,000,000 lives with nowhere to hide. They don't wither to brown, they just turn to glass, watching the ghost of the traveler pass. It's the scent of pink decay, a sugary rot, the memory of a season that the world forgot. Perfume like a fever, heavy and deep, waking the ghosts that were meant to sleep. Oh, the sweetness is a bruise, a beautiful stain, the scent of the blossom, the fragrance of pain. The low frequency hum begins in the ground, the color of sound, the shadow of found. Is it the bees or the earth catching breath? Is it the heartbeat of a beautiful death that pulls at my marrow? It tastes like the rain, a nectar that poisons the map of my brain. Pink decay in the lungs, in the light. Pink decay holding back the night. Sweet, so sweet. The rot is divine. One lands on my shoulder, a feather of silk, cool as a ghost, white as curdled milk. Then 2, then 10, then a blizzard of blush, falling in a slow, gravity-defying hush. They don't blow away, they stick to the wool of my heavy coat with a magnetic pull. I brush them off, but they cling to my sleeves. The desperate hands of the ghost of the leaves. Oh, the weight of the petals, the burden of grace, a mountain of mercy pressing down on my face. Lighter than a whisper, heavier than lead. The dreams of the living, the size of the dead. I'm sinking in the salt, I'm drowning in the glow. The petal weight is the only truth I know. My boots are buried, the laces are gone, lost in the drift of a perennial dawn. I try to lift a foot, but the nectar is glue, binding the old world into the new. The traveler's pack is a stone on my spine, but the blossoms are heavier line by line. They settle in my hair, they crust on my eyes, a soft, suffocating floral disguise. Oh, the weight of the petals, the burden of grace, a mountain of mercy pressing down on my face. Lighter than a whisper, heavier than lead. The dreams of the living, the size of the dead. I'm sinking in the soft, I'm drowning in the glow. The petal weight is the only truth I know. If I lie down, will I ever rise up? Or will I be the wine in this porcelain cup? The pressure is a rhythmic, a soft padded drum, beating the message, become heavier now. The silk turns to iron, heavier now. In the pink lit Zion, lay me down under the weight. There is no clock in the heart of the valley, no winter to harvest, no autumn to rally. The buds are forever on the verge of the break, a tension that shivers a beautiful lake. The green is too bright, a neon intrusion, feeding the engine of this grand illusion. I've walked for an hour, or maybe a year. The sun hasn't moved, the shadows are clear. We are trapped in the perpetual spring, where the bird is too breathless to ever sing. The loop in the river, and not in the light, where the morning is endless and murders the night. Nothing can finish, and nothing can fade in the emerald heat of the blossom shade. I remember a chill, the bite of the frost, the edge of the winter where memories are lost. But here the air is a lukewarm caress, the ultimate, maybe the terminal. Yes, the blossoms are frozen in a state of almost a valley of pillars, each one a ghost of a fruit that won't ripen, a seed that won't fall. The perpetual spring is a beautiful wall. We are trapped in the perpetual spring, where the bird is too breathless to ever sing. A loop in the river, and not in the light, where the morning is endless and murders the night. Nothing can finish, and nothing can fade in the emerald heat of the blossom shade. Static in the sap, a hum in the stem. I am the us and they are the them. Time is a puddle, stagnant and wide, with nowhere for a weary traveler to hide. Always April, never the May. Always the dawning, never the day. Perpetual, perpetual. The hum has a color, and the color is loud. It's bleeding from the soil to the edge of the cloud. I close my eyes, but the magenta remained burned on the retina, chemically stained. The trees start to dance in a jagged distortion, the geometry of beauty out of proportion. I see my mother's face in the center of a bloom, but she's made of pollen in the scent of a tomb. I'm caught in the pink fever dreams again, where the blossoms are stitches and the petals are skin. The valley is breathing a long Weight of rose, and the hum is the only direction it goes. Vision is melting, the logic is thin. I'm losing the place where the world ends and I begin. I found a memory, but it's covered in ants, crawling through the rhythm of a dervish's dance. It wasn't a name, it was a vibration, the frequency of a lost civilization. The petals are whispering secrets in Greek, or maybe it's just the way the branches creak. I'm shivering in the heat, I'm sweating in the calm, with a crushed cherry blossom in the flat of my palm. Caught in the pink fever dreams again, where the blossoms are stitches and the petals are skin. The valley is breathing a long Weight of rose, and the hum is the only direction it goes. Vision is melting, the logic is thin. I'm losing the place where the world ends and I begin. The pink, the hum, it's in the marrow, it's in the drum. Everything is blushing, everything is red. The fever is the only thing that isn't dead. Dreaming in neon, screaming in pastel. The pink fever, my beautiful hell. The wind has surrendered, the air is a stone. I am the only thing moving, and I am alone. But even my heartbeat feels like a riot in the face of this holy, terrifying quiet. Not a leaf shudders, not a stem gives us sway. The world is is a photograph frozen in gray, no frozen in pink, in a motionless roar, like a wave that is stuck just an inch from the shore. It's the stillness of the bloom, the ultimate hush, the silence that follows the gold and the gush. It's a hand on the throat, it's a weight on the chest, the terror of finding a permanent rest in the valley of blossoms, where nothing can move. I am the needle, and this is the groove. I try to scream just to hear a new sound, but the petals absorb it before it hits the ground. They drink up the noise, they swallow the light. They are the vacuum, the soft petaled night. I look at my hands and they're turning to wood. I'd run if I could, I'd leave if I should. But the stillness is hypnotic, a physical pull. The cup of the valley is terrifyingly full. It's the stillness of the bloom, the ultimate hush, the silence that follows the gold and the gush. It's a hand on the throat, it's a weight on the chest, the terror of finding a permanent rest in the valley of blossoms, where nothing can move. I am the needle, and this is the groove. The memory I sought, I don't need it now. It's written in the curve of the flowering bough. The traveler is gone, there is only the scene, the pink and the stillness, and the space in between. Still, so still. The bloom is the end, the bloom is the friend. Hush, hush. Peach light curdles, a wound in the air. The horizon is swelling, a heavy despair. No more the gold of the afternoon heat. Now the horizon is dragging its feet. A bloom in the marrow, in the bone. The valley is turning to shadow and stone. I watch as the ceiling of heaven descends, where the warmth of the day abruptly ends. Bruised violet skies pressing down on the crown. The weight of the ether is slowing me down. Not quite a darkness, not quite a light, just the ache of the purple before the white. Bruised violet skies, a stain on the day, watching the sanctuary wither. Are like hematoma, dark and deep, waking the ghosts that the mountains keep. The air has the taste of a copper plate sting, The silence is heavy, a terrifying thing. It's a color that hurts, it's a shade that demands the letting go of the work of my hands. The birds have gone quiet, the insects are still, as the lilac venom pours over the hill. Bruised violet skies pressing down on the crown. The weight of the ether is slowing me down. Not quite a darkness, not quite a light, just the ache of the purple before the white. Bruised violet skies, a stain on the day, watching the sanctuary wither away. The pressure is building in the temples and veins, waiting for gravity to break all the chains. It's not blue, it's not black, it's a pulse in the gray, the color of something being taken away. Violet, violet, the bruise is spreading. The violet is bleeding. The sky is a fist. Wait for the rain. Single needle, cold and precise. It's the center of the palm, like a splinter of ice. Then another on the cheek, then a third on the chin. The warning shot fired at the shield of my skin. I reach for the pocket, I reach for the guide. The paper is trembling, nowhere to hide. The ink starts to weep, the lines start to stray. The north and the south are both melting away. Now I am mapless, the ink is a ghost, drowning the borders I depended on most. The first drop is heavy, the first drop is wide, turning the parchment to pulp in the tide. No lines to follow, no path to reclaim. The water is taking the path and the name. The grid is dissolving, the scale is a lie, a smear of charcoal under the sky. The landmarks are drowning in ripples of gray. I don't know the distance, I don't know the way. My fingers are tracing a blank sodden sheet as the mud starts to swallow the soles of my feet. What was a compass is now just a stain, the first casualty of the April rain. Now I am mapless, the ink is a ghost, drowning the borders I depended on most. The first drop is heavy, the first drop is wide, turning the parchment to pulp in the tide. No lines to follow, no path to reclaim. The water is taking the path and the name. Left, no. Right, no. Forward is a wall of water, backward is a memory of dry land. The map is a puddle, the traveler is blind. Mapless, just the rhythm now. The paper is gone, I am the center of nothing.
on the slate, tap on the bone. The valley is playing a song of its own. A million white hammers on a roof of grey lead, drumming the logic right out of my head. It's a gallop of water, a stampede of sound, hammering nails into the thirsty ground. Forget the melody, forget the refrain. There is only the pulse of the relentless rain. Cleansing, beat by beat, washing the arrogance out of the street. The percussion of heaven, the mallet of God, stripping the silver from the golden rod. Ooh, ooh, cleansing, a cadence of cold, breaking the spirit of the young and the old. Steady on the shoulders, heavy on the back. Every drop is a click on a circular track. The slate is a drum head, the soil is a snare. The friction of falling is thick in the air. I'm vibrating thin in the wash of the noise, losing the balance, losing the poise. It's not a flood, it's a mechanical grind, scrubbing the clutter from the back of the mind. What? Cleansing, beat by beat, washing the arrogance out of the street. The percussion of heaven, the mallet of God, stripping the silver from the golden rod. Ooh, ooh, cleansing, a cadence of cold, breaking the spirit of the young and the old. Wash the noise, be the noise. The slate is singing, the rain is the only clock left. Tick, tick, drip, strike the stone. Clean, 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 cold. The beat goes on until I am gone.
The eye is a garment soaked to the core. I don't wanna wear this skin anymore. The titles I carried, the pride in my stride, are slipping like silt in the rising tide. The me is a fiction, a salt-crusted shell, cracking apart in this watery hell. The water is searching for cracks in the pride, to reach the hollow that's shaking inside. Washing off the ego, layer by layer. The rain doesn't listen to the arrogant prayer. Strip away the history, strip away the face, and leave only a shadow in a liquid space. Washing off the ego down
can speak in the language of roots and the mountain peak. The soil is exhaling a musk and a moan, calling to things that are buried in stone. I feel them stirring beneath my bare heels, the ancestors grinding their obsidian wheels. The valley is crowded, though I am alone, with spirits of iron and spirits of bone. Spirits in the soil, rising to the knee. The land is waking up inside of me. From the black mud, from the ancient silt, they drink the ego that the travelers spilled. Spirits in the soil, whispering low, nowhere left for the hollow to go. They have no faces, they have only sighs, looking at me with 1,000 wet eyes. They are the clay, and they are the peat. They are the rhythm of the rain's retreat. The me was a barrier, the me was a wall, but now I am porous, I'm part of it all. I'm a vessel for ghosts in the April thaw, subject to the valley's unwritten law. Spirits in the soil, rising to the knee. The land is waking up inside of me. From the black mud, from the ancient silt, they drink the ego that the travelers spilled. Spirits in the soil, whispering low, nowhere left for the hollow to go. The dead are drinking, the soil is breathing. I am the mud is me. Welcome to the dark, welcome to the deep. In the soil, under the rain, the spirits remain. The traveler is gone.
The rain has died into a hum, a low-frequency vibration. Beneath the sill, clocks begin their liquid syncopation. I stand upon the muddy lip where seconds start to fray. The river isn't water, it's the ghost of yesterday. Polyrhythmic pulses beat against the granite shelf. The stream is moving faster than the ticking of myself. I watch the surface shimmer with a light that shouldn't be. A chronological kaleidoscope, a shifting canopy. Temporal currents pulling at the shore, carrying the wreckage of the lives we lived before. In every eddy, cycles turn. In every crest a year, the river is a ribbon made of everything we fear. Flowing forward, looking back, the silver and the blue temporal currents washing over you. The ripples don't move linearly, they spiral and they fold. The stories of the silver thaw are waiting to be told. I see a flash of January trapped inside a swirl, a crystalline reflection of a prehistoric world. The rhythm shifts to 7/8, then stutters back to 4 as ancient tides come knocking at the valley's open door. It's a symphony of friction where the past and present meet. I feel the drag of centuries beneath my heavy feet. Time is not a narrow path, it's a basin wide and deep. It's the promise that the mountain is finally meant to keep. The water doesn't travel, it remembers how to flow through the canyons of the venom and the grottos of a ghost. Temporal currents pulling at the shore, carrying the wreckage of the lives we lived before. In every eddy, cycles turn. In every crest a year, the river is a ribbon made of everything we fear. Flowing forward, looking back, the silver and the blue temporal currents washing over you. Shivering, sliding, the seconds collide. The weight of the era is high on the tide. Temporal currents. The water knows the way. The ice was a lid on a heavy stone jar, holding the things that we hid in the dark. But April is honest and April is cruel. It breaks every lock and it bends every rule. The frost is retreating from hollow and height, exposing the whispers to mid-morning light. What was frozen in silence is finding its tongue as the winter's old lies are finally unsung. It's the thaw of secrets, the melting of the veil. The truth is a ship that is setting its sail from the marrow of the mountain to the floor of the glen. The hidden is rising to meet us again. Crystalline echoes shattering clear secrets is finally here. I see a forgotten name etched in the silt, a fragment of longing, a shadow of guilt. The water is cloudy with things we suppressed, now floating like ghosts on the river's cold breast. It's a heavy disclosure, a liquid confession. The valley is purging its deepest possession. Each bubble that breaks is a word left unsaid, returning to life from the ranks of the dead. You can't keep the cold from the heat of the sun. The unraveling process has only begun. Let the secrets wash downward, let the clarity rise underneath the expanse of the wide open skies. It's the thaw of secrets, the melting of the veil. The truth is a ship that is setting its sail from the marrow of the mountain to the floor of the glen. The hidden is rising to meet us again. Crystalline echoes shattering clear. The thaw of secrets is finally here. Nothing stays hidden when the ice turns to glass. Watching the sins of the winter time pass. The thaw, the secrets running clear. The bank gives way to a pebbled descent, where the force of the runoff is violently spent. I step from the grass to the bite of the stream, like waking up inside a crystalline dream. The water is sharp, a cold iron sting, the brutal embrace of a newborn spring. My ankles are numb, but my senses are high as the blossoms of cherry go drifting by. Wading through mid-April, knee-deep in the flow, following where the fallen petals go. A carpet of pink on a mirror of ice, paying the season its beautiful price. Crystalline currents, a baptism of cold, wading through mid-April, brave and bold. The blossoms are vessels, small boats of the trees, carrying scents on the subterranean breeze. They swirl in the wake of my slow-moving knees, passing through shadows of dormant birch trees. The river is crowded with soft, fragrant light, petals like snowflakes, blindingly white. I'm part of the movement, I'm part of the drift, as the tectonic plates of my consciousness shift. The water is singing in voices of glass, refracting the moments as they shimmer and pass. Don't fight the pressure, don't fear the depth, just hold the rhythm of every breath. Wading through mid-April, knee-deep in the flow, following where the fallen petals go. A carpet of pink on a mirror of ice, paying the season its beautiful price. Crystalline currents, a baptism of cold. my pace to the pull of the tide. The stones beneath me are slick and they're round, but I'm finding a footing that's better than ground. The current is nudging my heels to the left, navigating the cracks in the waterway's cleft. It's a wordless direction, a gravity pull. The cup of the valley is nearly half full. Guiding footsteps led by the rush. The world is a roar in a crystalline hush. The stream is a map that is written in force, guiding my steps on a preordained course. Not where I want, but where I must go, trusting the weight of the silver Thaw's flow. The blossoms are clustering, forming a line, a pink-petaled compass, a natural sign. They point to the bend where the willows all weep, where the secrets of winter are buried so deep. I don't need a lantern, I don't need a star. The water is telling me just where we are. Each stumble is balanced, each slip is a grace, as the riverbed carves out a path I can trace. Let the ankles be weary, let the spirit be light. The end of the journey is coming in sight. The veins of the valley are pulsing with heat, moving the world through the soles of my feet. Guiding footsteps led by the rush. The world is a roar in a crystalline hush. The stream is a map that is written in force, guiding my steps on a preordained course. Not where I want, but where I must go, trusting the weight of the silver Thaw's flow. Footsteps follow the blossoms. The water is wise. The destination is near.
The canyon expands into a circular room, a cathedral of granite, a cradle of bloom. All the temporal currents converge in this place to look at the mountain's original face. The water is pooling deep, dark and still, the final result of the frost and the will. The cherry blossoms have gathered in rings in the center where the heart of the valley sings.
is mine now to taste. The secrets of winter are mulch for the soil. The end of the struggle, the end of the toil. The silver has turned into emerald and gold. The new story starts where the old one was told. I feel the vibration beneath the deep floor. The valley is breathing through every pore. Everything flows to this singular spot. The things we remember, the things we forgot. A reservoir built out of time and of tears. The sum of the seasons, the weight of the years. This is the heart, the core of the thaw, filled with a terrifying, beautiful love. The secrets have settled, the currents are one, shimmering bright in the mid-April sun. The pulse of the planet, the beat of the earth, the heart of the valley, the place of rebirth. The silver thought is over, the valley is awake. The heart is beating, the heart is beating, crystalline.
Step by step, the color bleeds from the leaves. The emerald pulse begins to slow, then cease. The horizon line is a wire of cooling lead, where the ghosts of summer go to rest their heads. I have found the maps and the hollow in the map, where the silence is a physical thing, a quiet trap. The air is heavy with the scent of frozen dew, a world reduced to a single aching hue. In the silver grove, the light is thin, where the world stops pushing and the ghosts begin. No gold, no green, no vibrant bloom, just the pale, cold geometry of this room. The silver grove, where the wind goes to die, under a bleached and monochromatic sky. The trunks are columns of polished, tarnished smoke, standing tall beneath the weight they never broke. The bark is smooth as skin, cold as fire left to burn. I walk through the aisles of the standing dead, repeating the words that the old map said. Find the place where the light is a filtered gray and the sun is a memory a mile away. In the silver grove, the light is thin, where the world stops pushing and the ghosts begin. And no gold, no green, no vibrant bloom, just the pale, cold geometry of this room. The silver grove, where the wind goes to die under a bleached and monochromatic sky. Is this the destination or the cage? The final sentence on a lightless page. The ground is white with the ash of time, a frozen rhythm, a silent rhyme. Silver, silver, all I see. The grove is breathing into me, lost in the pale, lost in the gray. The silver grove has found its way. The willows lean like mourners at the bank, watching the stones where the heavy sunlight sank. The branches are long, reaching for the floor, tracing the path to the water's hidden door. They don't sway like trees, they chime like bells, ringing out the secrets that the forest tells. Lustrous and heavy, draped in the gloom, filling the hollow of this liquid room. Metallic hair dip in the tide, hide in the secrets that the currents provide. Silver threads brushing the surface of the floor, telling the river everything they know. Cold to the touch, a curtain of steel, masking the things that I'm forced to feel. I reach out to touch a strand of the gray, but it slips through my fingers, it turns me away. It's not wood or leaf, it's a wire of grief, providing a texture for a long-awaited relief. The stream catches the tips, dragging them down like the heavy train of a ghost wedding gown. The water is singing through the metallic weave, a song for the ones who can never quite leave. Metallic hair dip in the tide, hide in the secrets that the currents provide. Silver threads brushing the surface of the flow, telling the river everything they know. Cold to the touch, a curtain of steel, masking the things that I'm forced to feel. The stream is a throat, the branches are veins, carrying the weight of the silver gray rains. They tangle and twist in a rhythmic knot, the memory of things that the world
forgot. Brushing the water, brushing the stone. Metallic hair, I am not alone. Dipping in the dark, dipping in the deep. The willows are watching the promises they keep.
I kneel at the edge where the silt is soft, while the metallic canopy holds the sky aloft. The water is a mirror of mercury and oil, untroubled by the wind or the earth's heavy toil.
I look from my eyes for the lines on my face, for the marks of the journey through this lonely place.
But the surface is glass, and the glass is a lie,
or a truth that I'm finally forced to espy. The reflection in the stream isn't mine to hold. It's a different story that's being retold. Features I know from a dream long ago. Staring back up from the depths of the flow, the ghost in the wood, the face in the glass, waiting for the traveler to finally pass.
It blinks when I blink, but the timing is slow, as if it's submerged in a heavy, dark glow.
It wears my sorrow, but it wears a different name. A flicker of life in a monochrome frame.
Is this the memory I've traveled to find?
The part of my soul that I left far behind.
A stranger in the silver,
a friend in the gloom, the occupant of this watery room. The reflection in the stream isn't mine to hold. It's a different story that's being retold. Features I know from a dream long ago. Staring back up from the depths of the flow, the ghost in the wood, the face in the glass, waiting for the traveler to finally pass. The water ripples, but the image stays clear, feeding on the silence, feeding on the fear. It's not a double, it's the original spark, the one I abandoned to walk in the dark. Who are you? Who was I? Under the reach of the silver gray sky. The reflection is steady, the reflection is deep. A memory I can no longer keep. The realization is a salt heavy weight, a lock turning slowly in an iron gate. The reflection is crying, or perhaps it is me. The tears Flowers are the only things left to be free. They fall into the stream, they join with the tide, the last of the places where secrets can hide. The monochrome world starts to soften and blur, a funeral for the person I once thought I were. Let it be wept away, let it dissolve, the riddle that no one was meant to resolve. Into the silver, into the flow, let the salt take the things that you need to let go. Wept away in the grove of the trees, carried downstream on a ghost of a breeze. The metallic hair brushes the salt from my cheek. The willows are speaking the words I can't speak. One tear for the beginning, one for the end, one for the heart that I couldn't quite mend. The silver is melting, the mercury runs, the ending of moons and the setting of suns. I am becoming the liquid, I'm becoming the rain, washing the landscape of every last stain. Let it be wept away, let it dissolve, the riddle that no one was meant to resolve. Into the silver, into the flow, let the salt take the things that you need to let go. Wept away in the grove of the trees, carried downstream on a ghost of a breeze. Empty the vessel, drain out the light. There is no more struggle, there is no more fight. The stream is a cradle, the stream is a grave. The salt is the only thing left to save. Wept away, wept away into the gray, into the gray. The reflection is fading, the water is high, under the reach of the silver gray sky.
The silence is absolute, heavy and thick, until the wood gives with a sharp, sudden. The tension is broken, the cycle is sheared, the end of the journey that I both loved and feared. One willow branch falls, hitting the flow, the signal for all of the seasons to go. The air starts to shift, the silver turns dark, the grove is a cinder without any spark. The snap of the branch, the turn of the year, the end of the vision that brought me here. The cycle resets in the heart of the wood, doing the things that the winter misunderstood. And then the first drop hits the surface of the stream, a puncture in the fabric of the silver gray dream. The rain is returning, the thaw has begun. The work of the ghost in the forest is done. The branch is gone. The rain comes down. The cycle starts.